No One Would Tell was a 1996 made-for-TV movie starring then heartthrob Fred Savage and Candace Cameron. Now, this movie was based on the true story of Amy Carnivale, who was 14 years old when she was murdered by her 16-year-old boyfriend, Jamie Fuller. Amy Carnivale was born on April 13, 1977, to parents Michael and Cynthia. In 1991, she was a 14-year-old cheerleader who was well-liked by everyone. She was very popular. She also played field hockey. Now, everyone described Amy as being very positive, very upbeat, very kind, generous, and sweet. They also stated that she always tried to find the good in everyone, no matter who they were. When Amy met 16-year-old bodybuilder Jamie Fuller, she fell very hard, very fast. Now, from the outside, it may seem like Amy had everything that a teenager could want. She had the handsome jock boyfriend. She was popular. She was a cheerleader. She was well-liked by everyone. But that, in fact, was not the case. She had a very tumultuous relationship with Jamie. He very quickly became extremely possessive and controlling over Amy, from things like what she wore to who she spent time with. He had a set rule that Amy was not allowed to speak to any other boys than him. And he also started putting his hands on her. He would block her from trying to leave if they were having an argument, and very aggressively grabbed her several times in front of witnesses. The couple frequently broke up and then got back together. But by August of 1991, Amy had finally had enough. She was starting to grow scared of Jamie and his craziness, and she decided she was going to break up with him and told her friends this was it for her. She was not getting back together with him. Now, by this point, Jamie had already made threats of killing Amy several times to many people. However, no one took these threats to heart. Sadly, Jamie did decide to go through with these threats. He had a conversation with his friends and said, "Hey, today I'm going to kill Amy, and you're welcome to come along if you want." Now, his friends taunted him, saying, "Oh, you don't have the balls, you're not going to do it." And his words to them, very hauntingly, were just, "We'll see." So he contacted Amy and convinced her to meet up with him. Now, Amy had big dreams of becoming a hairstylist when she grew up. So Jamie knew that using the story that he wanted to get his hair cut by her would convince her to come meet him. It did take some time for her to say yes, but she did finally agree to meet up with Jamie. So Amy, Jamie, and his two friends all met up at Jamie's house, and they walked to an open field near his home. When they reached the field, the two friends stayed behind, and Jamie led Amy deeper into the woods. Quickly after leading her into the woods, he placed his hand over her mouth, told her he loved her, and then stabbed her in the stomach. At this time, he goes behind Amy and plunges the knife even deeper. He later said that he could actually feel the knife ripping through her abdomen, and he seemed to get great joy from that. Now, Amy did her best to try and save her own life at this time. She bit Jamie and tried to run away, but she was no match for the bodybuilder. He grabbed her by the hair, jerked her back, and dragged her back to the spot where he originally had stabbed her. While still holding her by the hair, he started to violently slash her throat. Amy pleaded with Jamie, saying, "Jamie, I love you," as she fell to the ground. Now, at this point, Jamie states that he became pissed off by the sound of Amy choking on her own blood. This pissed him off so badly, in fact, that he began to stomp her violently. This is what would eventually lead to her death. After stabbing and then stomping Amy to death, Jamie emerged from the woods happy with the task he had just completed. He actually bragged to his friends about how much damage was done to the knife that he used to stab her. They then returned to his home. He was covered in blood, so he was making jokes about how the red Kool-Aid he just drank was perfect for the occasion. Jamie then cleaned up, threatened his friends that if they had told anyone that the same thing would happen to them, and then made him go back to the scene of the crime to help him clean up. The three boys tied cinder blocks to Amy's body, wrapped her in plastic, and threw her into Shoe Pond in Beverly, Massachusetts. Thankfully, one of these friends actually did lead the police to the location where they had so callously dumped Amy's body, and Jamie was subsequently arrested for her murder. Now, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, and then he did try to escape in 1994. Luckily, he was not able to do so, so he received more time for that. Now, I'm not really sure how it works, but I thought when you're given life without parole that you don't ever go in front of the parole board, but I guess that's not the case, because in 2024, Jamie did go in front of the parole board. Now, they stated that although they took into account the fact that Jamie was only 16 when he committed the crimes, he was also under the influence of substances such as steroids, and that he had had a very hard life up to that point. They also stated that they took into account that he has converted to Buddhism. He's been like the model prisoner. He's doing everything that they think he should be doing to show that he is sorry for his crimes. They still did not give the 49-year-old Jamie Fuller parole. They told him to come back and reapply in 3 years. Thank you so much for watching my video about the murder of Amy Carnivale. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. Also, please hit the follow button, and I will be making more content like this in the future.